Hi class, and thank you for watching my video. Today we're going to be talking about the benefits of growing your own food. So tell me, what stops you from growing your own greens? I know that growing your own greens can seem daunting and expensive and very time consuming, but what if I told you that none of those things are true? Growing your own greens actually gives you the opportunity to feed your family very, very good, nutritious food. And it's not as hard as you would think. If you have a small place, you can buy self watering containers that can allow you to grow food very easily. All you have to do is water them once a week, put them by a window, and they'll do the rest. But growing your own food also allows you to have benefits to your family, to your community, and of course, to have independence. I have been growing my own food for over 10 years. It's not to say that I do not go to the supermarket, but I try to grow as much food as possible so I can eat as healthy as possible. I have grown everything from sugar cane, passion fruit, cabbages, lettuce, tomatoes, a variety of herbs, mangoes, coconut, among a whole bunch of other stuff. And I started very small. I started with just a container with buckets from Home Depot. And slowly, as I learned more, I started getting more ambitious and I started growing more food. So you start slow, but you end up really big. The reality is that anyone can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. For example, let's talk a little bit about the benefits to your family. If you go into slide benefits to your family, you will see that one of the biggest benefits is the nutrition. Fruits and vegetables are full of nutrients. We know that. But if you grow them yourselves, they're actually higher in antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin A, and folate, which are very important to maintain our bodies. If you grow them at home, you actually get more of them in your body. So that's a very good reason. Of course, you get to give it to your loved ones and anybody else who you feed. If you grow your own food, you also have less pesticides. And the United States Environmental Protection Agency states that pesticides are widely used in producing food to control pests such as insects, rodents, weed, bacteria, mold, and fungus. They are in the business of making a profit. So they are going to spray the food with as much chemicals as needed so they can yield higher production. The problem is that we ingest those pesticides. Even when we try to thoroughly wash our fruits and vegetables, we end up ingesting some of that. Another great reason and a benefit to your family is, of course, that your increased family activity. When you garden together, you get to do something together. If you have children, your children get to see where food comes from. They get to eat it. They get to really feel that satisfaction of growing it themselves. And you guys get to do something together. So, if being healthy doesn't really make you want to start immediately, which it should, then let me tell you a little bit how gardening also increases your independence. First of all, of course, as we all know, it's a financial investment. And if you go to the next slide in my PowerPoint, you will see that according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, locally and regionally produced food is the fastest growing sector of American agriculture with sales over $11 billion in 2014 and a projected growth of 10%. $11 billion. That all comes from local growers and backyard growers. And that you can be a part of that $11 billion industry. And of course, it also increases your skills. That's a way that you become independent because you gain the skill that you can take forever with you. It's a lifetime skill and you will always know how to grow food. And that's a great skill to have. And one way that you increase your independence is really you eat what you grow. So you're not buying very expensive vegetables because you're eating from your backyard. So you have that independence where you're eating what you're growing. You get to enjoy nature and get off the grid, which is really important. There's a sense of pride and there's a sense of accomplishment when you're eating something that you picked out of your own backyard. So there's benefits to your family, and of course there's that increased sense of independence that you get. But remember, even though there's an increased sense of independence, you're not alone because gardening is very communal. Gardening actually brings people together. You can join community gardens. A lot of cities have community gardens all over. And the good thing about them is not only do you get to eat, but if there's extra food, you guys can donate that to shelters. So you're helping yet again your community. So you're part of this garden, which is part of this community, and then you get to help this other community. So it's a really good way to get involved. And of course, gardens promote community beautification because trees promote beautification. So it's a good way to make a neighborhood look more beautiful while also enjoying the fruits of your labor. One of the last things that I want to talk about is that it's very important for the community because overall, when we plant our own trees, there's less pesticides in the environment because we're planting our own trees. So there's no need for the city to come in and plant and put all these pesticides into our grounds because we are basically doing that ourselves. The toxicology information brief states pesticides which are sprayed can move through the air and can eventually move into your water. So if they spray it, they can move into your water. But if they're applied directly into your soil, they wash off into your water. If they are just put right into the soil, they also go into the underground water. So no matter how pesticides are used, they actually end up in our water system. And the reality is that our entire community gets on board. Imagine what happens. Not only is it community beautification, but it's good for all of our families. And of course, we would all have independence. So let's review. The first thing that we have to talk about is the benefits to our family. You're going to feed them nutritious food. You're going to spend time with them. And you're not going to put all these pesticides into their body. You're going to help them and yourselves gain independence by learning a new skill. And of course, counting on yourself to eat, which is really important. And lastly, you're going to end up helping your community. No matter how much you get involved, you will be helping your community by planting a tree. So with that being said, why don't you join me and start growing some food and let's do it. Thank you so much for watching my video.